We have been doing this research with Kantar World Panel now for the last 5 years, and we have been able to establish a few trends about consumer spend in China. And one of the most interesting trends has been, of course, the decline in FMCG spend over the last few years, from around 15% 5 years ago to barely more than 3% right now. But what we found across three lenses that we looked at is that this decline has been unevenly spread. And the first lens we looked at was category. We have found that some categories were declining double digit, while at the same time, some categories were actually growing double digit. And the main driver of that difference is the China economic transformation. We have seen the blue-collar workers who have been impacted by the industrial sector restructuring spending a lot more cautiously on very basic categories like beer or instant noodle that have been declining double digit for the last couple of years. The shift towards the service economy that the Chinese government is pushing is driving higher income and higher spending from the people working in the service sector. So this upper middle class, urban upper middle class is actually spending more on leisure and pleasure. And that's why we see beauty categories, for example, doing very well, pet food doing very well, health and wellness categories doing very well. The second lens we looked at was channel. In the same way categories are going different ways, we see channels going different ways as well. We see channels declining rapidly, like big box retailers, hypermarkets, supermarkets, losing traffic and having to shut down stores, while at the same time, smaller formats like convenience stores and, of course, online channels growing double digit over the last couple of years. And the third lens has been when we compare the growth of the multinational brands versus the growth of the local brands, what we found is the local brands have been gaining shares steadily for the last 5 years. And in fact, looking at last year, the growth of the local brands has been nearly double digit, 9 to 10%, while the multinational brands on an aggregate basis have been declining. And so here again, we see this two-speed China taking place in this battle between multinationals and local brands. So what are the takeaways for the brands? Number one, of course, they need to adapt to those new trends, and they need, first of all, to go with the winning channels. They need to find growth where it is, e-commerce channels, of course, convenience stores, and adapt their offers to that. But I think more importantly, look at their operating model, look at their cost structure, because the trend is definitely a declining one, and they need to adapt their cost base for that.